Abdu'l-Baha, the son of the Prophet Baha'u'llah, oftentimes used this phrase, heavenly training, always captivated me. I wondered, what does that mean? Well, you find out what it means when you start to engage yourself in this process of personal transformation, whether it's about racism or, sexism or domestic violence or whatever the issues are that you're dealing with in your community or in your life. We don't know what we're doing on the one hand, but we know that the transformation of the soul through direct action is one of the ways we do that. We have the perfect model for that in Abdu'l-Baha, who came to the United States in 1912. I'm sure other people have mentioned this, but perhaps not in the way that I'm going to describe it, because I respond to Abdu'l-Baha. Initially, when I first became a Baha'i, I was just blown away. And one of the reasons I was blown away was because his picture looked like my grandfather. So that really kind of threw me for a minute. It wasn't my grandfather, but he looked a lot like him. And I was captivated by his person. And when he comes to the United States, he comes to a predominantly white Baha'i community at the turn of the 20th century. And he shakes the tree. He's like a first responder, man, and that the issues of class were very clearly delineated, and social stratification and social segregation was still going on. There were something like 60-something lynchings during the year that Abdu'l-Baha came to the United States. And he came and did an intervention. You and you get married, bringing about interracial marriage, saying, this is what this faith is about. You, and you, come up here and sit next to me, against the tradition of the people of color sit in the back of the bus or the back of the room, or not front and center. And you, and you, come with me, we're leaving this hotel, it's segregated. This is what it meant to be a true Baha'i. And I'm sure it wiped out a whole bunch of people who thought they knew what it was. When Abdu'l-Baha came here to shake the tree of the predominantly white Baha'i community, that was part of it. That you've gotten stuck in these tracks that are about Jim Crow, and the Baha'i faith is not about Jim Crow. So you have to disassociate from that. You have to disconnect from that ideology. The idea of black exceptionalism is a challenge that we have always had in the Baha'i faith. Native American exceptionalism, Latino exceptionalism, the exceptionalism of the dark other, the people who are not white, and how extraordinary and brilliant they all are, and what extraordinary things they've done, and wanting to have those people front and center all the time to show off how egalitarian the Baha'i faith is, and I'm not having that either. So I always talk to people about the things that I do on behalf of the faith or for the faith to try to discourage them from picking me to do something because I have a brown face. And I make it real clear to people that these other people that you can ask to do this, and there are these other things that you can actually do yourself. Because it's not about having a brown face. They're human beings who happen to be white, and then they're white people. And every single person of color on this planet knows the difference. You have to learn that, because you won't survive if you don't know that. That's why thousands of mothers of color have had to explain to their sons and daughters about their public behavior. Because of the criminalization of blackness, which is also the criminalization of Native Americanness. Everything that's going on in this country with respect to race that's horrific, that happened to black people, happened to Native people twice as long and twice as hard. And so this idea of being exceptional because you are a person of color, that, how did you get through these racist barriers that we placed in your pathway? How did you overcome that to do this? Hides the fact that there are everyday folks who are also highly resilient and played a profound role.